Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl, the Brooke Ashley, and today we are here to discuss Selling Tampa Season 1, Episode 5. And let me just tell you, definitely one of the more explosive episodes this season. And baby, this argument between Tennille and Alexis, I'm gonna let you know right now that I was on Tennille's side all the way. But let me not jump ahead. Let's just jump right on into it because we don't have a minute to spare. We start off this episode with the ladies in Miami. Everybody's super excited for this girls' trip. That's also a business trip. And they're all like, thank you so much, Sharelle. Like, thanks for this first class trip. Sharelle's like, oh, of course, ladies, anytime. And in my personal opinion, Carla and Alexis would not have been invited to be on this trip. They are two non-producing agents. They would be in Tampa trying to sell some homes. So they check into the SLS hotel, the champagne's on deck, and now we see Sharelle and Juawana conducting some business. They head over to their newest listing for Monique and Melvin, and they are the couple and the founders and the owners of Mielle Hair Care. Now, I know this is petty of me, but every time I think of Mielle and their products, I think of how that husband was sitting up there cursing YouTubers out because he was upset at the fact that they were giving honest reviews and critiques of the products. I'm like, y'all are sitting up here looking at $8, $9, $10 million houses, but your husband doesn't know how to speak to people and he's cursing influencers out. How does that work? So Sharelle and Juawana are showing Monique, Melvin, and their daughter this gorgeous 10,000 square foot home. It's custom built, 7 bedrooms, 9 bathrooms, and it's on 2.4 acres of land, and it's for a great price of $8 million. You could tell that Monique and Melvin liked the house, but they weren't totally blown away by the house. And I was really screaming how the daughter was like, I mean, the house is okay, but it's kind of small. And they all looked at her like, girl, small? A 10,000 square foot home is small? Like, what? And then when Monique said, are you paying for this house? And she was like, yeah. So Sharelle and Juawana finished showing Monique and Melvin the home. And they're like, okay, so what do you think? Do you like it? Do you want to put in an offer? Like, what's up? So they're like, I mean, the house is nice, but we weren't completely wowed by the house, and we need a home that has 5 wows. This home only has 2 wows. So now Sharelle is like, well, damn, like here I am showing them the creme de la creme of homes, and they're not blown away by this. So they tell Sharelle, go back to the drawing board and find us our dream home by tomorrow because we don't want to keep flying in and out of Miami trying to find a home. We want to sign a contract by tomorrow. So Sharelle is super nervous, but she promises that she's going to find them their perfect home. So now we jump ahead to the next scene. All the ladies are together for dinner. Everybody's dressed up. They're all in good spirits. Everybody is just ready to get good and lit and enjoy some good food. We also find out that it's Carla's birthday week, so she's in a really good mood. I said, baby, for your birthday, you need to sell a house. That would be even better. But again, I digress. So now Colony starts off the conversation and she wants to know who has the biggest ass in this group. So everybody says that it's between Carla and Tennille. So now Carla and Tennille both get up and they're showing their booties. And I love Tennille's outfit. She had this really sexy leather skirt on. Like, she looked good. And I can't stop saying that she looks just like Marlo Hampton. So while they're comparing booties, everybody says that it's a tie. And then Tennille starts twerking. So now we see Colony getting a text message from her client, Cho. And we remember Cho from the first episode when she was showing him around that gorgeous $6 million home. So Colony says, my client's here in Miami, and he's also staying at the same hotel as us. So now Tennille's trying to be a little bit shady, and she's like, Colony, have you ever dated one of your clients? Colony says, we've had a few dinners, but I've never dated one of my clients. Colony continues by saying that it's all about giving your client an experience and how she'll even pick up her clients from the airport. anything to just strengthen that bond and to get them to close a deal. So now Tennille makes another shady joke, and she's like, Colony, do you Airbnb your room out to your clients too? So now Colony's like what? Like, no. So now here comes Miss Airhead Alexis, who can't close on a deal whatsoever. She feels the need to stick her nose in a conversation that has nothing to do with her. So she says that Tennille is out of line for asking Colony that. So now Tennille's like, girl, I'm not talking to you, I'm talking to Colony. So Alexis is going on about how she's defending Colony and how Tennille asked a stupid question. So now Colony goes on to ask Tennille if Tennille is still in training. So now Tennille's really upset and she's like, don't do me. I'm sitting up here making the most deals, closing on all these houses, doing a lot more than a lot of these MFs at this table. Then Tennille says, don't question me about if I'm still in training, ask some of these other women. So we all know that Tennille is subbing Alexis. So now Alexis says, don't bring me in it, stop calling me out, stop putting my name in it. So now Alexis gets so upset that she calls Tennille a bitch. And baby, that's when all hell really breaks loose and Tennille goes off. Tennille starts dragging Alexis for filth and she's like, how many deals have you closed? 0. Like, don't sit up here and check me, and for you to call me out my name, I have never called you a bitch, I have never spoken to you like that, so why would you call me that? So Tennille and Alexis are going back and forth, and I was just kind of like, Alexis, there was no need for you to say anything. Colony is a big girl, she can handle Tennille, she did not need you to defend her. And Colony and Tennille were just joking around with each other, it was light shade, it wasn't that deep. But since you feel a type of way about Tennille, you thought that you were going to have a moment, but you ended up getting embarrassed. I was here for Tennille going off on Alexis because how dare you call me a bitch when I haven't done anything to you? I'm trying to help you out. I'm the one bringing you to listings, and you're sitting up here almost sabotaging my listings, but you want to call me out my name? I don't think so. I would have read Alexis even more, because for you to have anything to say about anybody is a joke. Alexis is a dummy. So of course the dinner is now ruined. Sharelle is so pissed off. She's like, y'all, stop all this. Stop calling each other out your names and stop it. Like, y'all are looking crazy right now. So now she wants them all to go upstairs to their rooms and just try again tomorrow. But obviously the whole mood has been brought down because Tennille was going off. So now we jump to the next scene and it's a new day. Everybody's at the pool just trying to have a good time. So we see Carla, Alexis, Anne-Sophie, and Colony at the pool. And they're all like, last night was crazy. So Alexis says, yeah, I know, it was really wild. I was like, girl, shut up. So now Anne-Sophie says, Colony, I love you, but if we're being honest, you started this whole entire argument when you asked Tennille if she was still in training. So now Anne-Sophie wants to know if Alexis is going to apologize to Tennille. So Alexis says, well, why should I apologize to her? My feelings are hurt, and she started all this drama. I was like, Alexis, you can't see that you're the one in the wrong? You started this by calling her a bitch. You had no right to do that. You can't get mad that Tennille went off the way she did. So now Anne says that they both need to apologize to each other. And I don't agree. So speak of the devil, Tennille arrives to join the ladies at the pool. You can already see that Alexis is getting tense. She seems kind of nervous because Tennille is not the one or the two. So now Anne is like, hey, Tennille, how are you? How are you feeling? So Tennille's like, I'm great. How are you? So then Anne brings up the dinner and the drama that occurred. And so Tennille's like, there was some drama? There was an argument? Like, what do you mean? Like, I don't remember all that. She's obviously being sarcastic. And now airhead Alexis jumps in and she says, look, Tennille, I felt disrespected last night, but I do want to apologize for calling you a bitch. So Tennille says, thank you, because that's a trigger for me. And then she goes on to say that she was just really surprised at how comfortable Alexis was by calling her out her name. Then Tennille continues by saying that she did not single Alexis out, Alexis singled herself out. And again, she did. Tennille did not name names. She just said, some of these people at this table are not producing. And you felt away and you opened up your mouth when you could have just sat there and ate your food. So of course, Alexis is talking in circles. She can't take accountability for anything. And she's trying to act like Tennille is also to blame. And Tennille's like, look, we're obviously not going to agree on this. So girl, it is what it is. Like, we can be cordial with each other, but personal relationship, that's pretty much out of the question. I got my entire life when Tennille said in her confessional, but she's still a zero producing bitch.
You know what?
Also, Tennille should have cursed you out for almost ruining her listing with Ben. She trusted you to have your info together and you didn't have anything together. You made yourself look foolish. You made Allure Realty look bad, and you could have cost her that client. Alexis, you need a good cursing out about a lot of stuff. And I'm still confused as to how you got your real estate license in the first place. Did somebody take the test for you? Because I'm just not believing that you had the wherewithal to study and learn all these terms and all this information. You don't even know the basics of how many bedrooms or baths the house has. It's craziness. So Alexis and Tennille hug, and everybody is happy that they've put it in the past. Now, for me, I would have just accepted Alexis's apology, and that would have been it. I don't need to talk to Alexis ever again. We don't ever need to work together on anything because she's an idiot. I would have nothing for Alexis going forward. It will be hello and goodbye. That's it. Now we see Colony's client Cho come to the pool, and the way those ladies were swarming around him like they had never seen a man before. And when he took his shirt off, did you see how Carla, Tennille, and Anne-Sophie were acting? I was like, my God. Anne was in the pool, swimming after him. Carla's fanning herself like this. I was like, geez. Like, y'all are starved, huh? Oh, and let me just say that Cho was loving all that attention. He was just smiling. He was liking them, just going crazy for him, especially when he took his shirt off. And Carla, I caught that little comment that you made when you kept calling him Joe, and then Colony was like, no girl, his name is Cho. And you were like, Joe, Cho, it's the same thing. No, it's not the same thing. Learn people's names. And then we see the servers bring out this huge drink because it's Carla's birthday. So baby, I mean, the drink was like, I mean, it was huge. Like, it was like a big goblet of, I think like, was like a daiquiri? I don't know what it was. But when I tell you, I was kind of cringing, like, we are still in a pandemic. I don't know if that's the safest thing to do, to drink this huge drink with all of y'all drinking out of the same exact cup. I don't know.
No.
I'm gonna need my own drink. I'm gonna let you guys have that. But the drink did look good. So now we jump over to Sharelle and Juawana, showing Monique and Melvin the second option. This home is new construction, $7.5 million, 14,000 square feet. It's stunning, and it's even bigger than the first house that they were shown. Monique and Melvin are already in love with this house. They're like, from the jump, we are already getting 2 wow factors, so this is a good sign. Now, mind you, they flew in their interior designer, and I was so happy that she was Black. I was like, I know that's right. I love seeing Black people in the interior design business. Just a fabulous industry.
I love it. I love it.
So they finished touring the house, and Monique and Melvin say that they are blown away, they're super impressed, and how Sharelle and Juawana will be hearing back from them very soon. So Sharelle's like, okay, seems like a good sign, and she's kind of on pins and needles because she really wants to get this deal. And I mean, I would too. Commission on a $7.5 million home? that's some good money.
Bling, bling, bling. Bitches is mad.
Now we see a short scene with Juawana getting ready for her date. She's nervous, but kind of excited and also anxious because it's been a while since she's dated. She goes on to say how she's not sure if she can be sexy or flirty, but she's gonna try. So child, her date arrives, and when I tell you he was nice, but he was doing the absolute most, he's talking about sperm retention and all this stuff. I was like, this is not appropriate for a first date. And when he was like, you know what, I'm sure that you smell like water down there, I was like, oh no, like, be a gentleman. He gave me the vibes that he still thinks that he's a playboy at his big age, and he also gives me that he has 8 other women on the side. And you already know that rigid Juawana was appalled at that kind of talk. So she was like, he's nice, he's entertaining, but this was not a match. But at least she got a pretty fun date out of it. So we flip over to another scene with all the ladies minus Sharelle and Juawana on a yacht. So they're all looking at these really nice waterfront homes, and Colony says that she's having a great time with them. So now Colony brings up how Juawana was not at dinner with them the night before, and so I think Carla says that Juawana and Sharelle probably had a falling out or something because they're always joined at the hip. I was screaming because remember that nobody but Sharelle knows that Juawana is going through this divorce. So they have no idea that she was actually out on a date while they were having their dinner, and it had nothing to do with Sharelle or Juawana getting into an argument. But you see what people will come up with? Just anything to piece some sort of story together. Like, you do know that everybody does not have to be joined at the hip 24/7, right? It's okay for good friends to do things apart from each other. So now Colony turns to Rena and she starts questioning her about Rena starting her own brokerage. So Rena says, look, I don't know where I stand right now. It's still a possibility, but I'm not sure. And so Colony's like, because I would be really sad if you left Allure and started your own thing. Serena says, again, I'm still weighing out all my options. I'm not sure yet. I might stay here. I might break off, do my own thing. I don't know. Again, learn how to move in silence. There's never any reason to disclose plans that aren't finalized yet. Had Rena kept her mouth shut about her plans of starting her own brokerage, she wouldn't have to deal with Colony or anybody questioning her about this. So now Colony says, you know that if you were to start your own brokerage, it would be competition. I said, so that would be like American Airlines not starting up because Delta was around. That would be like Neiman Marcus saying, well, we're not going to open up because there's Saks. Like, what are you saying? So Sharelle should be the only Black woman-owned brokerage? Nobody else can branch out and do their own thing? I'm a big believer in there's enough for everybody. It's not just only one person can be at the top. I don't like how a lot of people, especially Black people, have that mentality where there can only be one and that's it. I don't subscribe to that mentality. You could say that about anything if we're being honest. You could say, well, don't start a makeup line because MAC and NARS and Bobbi Brown and Fenty are out. There's a lane for everybody. As long as you're good at what you do, there's a lane for you. That would be like me saying, well, I'm not going to start my YouTube channel because there are millions of other Black women with YouTube channels. I mean, that's very silly to have that mindset. So now Anne-Sophie jumps in to defend Rena, and she says that businesses can coexist. And she's absolutely correct. And millions of businesses coexist amongst each other in the same industries, and everybody is fine. So Colony is getting upset with Anne-Sophie, and you could tell that now there's some kind of tension because Colony feels like Anne-Sophie isn't being loyal. So now Colony says in her confessional that Anne-Sophie and Rena don't understand where she's coming from. No, sis, they understand what you're saying, but you make no sense. Because how are you going to tell this black woman, well, stifle your dreams because this black woman already has her brokerage, so you can't start yours? You sound dumb. And I'm screaming because you did all of this to have egg on your face in the final episode, but we'll get to that later on. So now Colony says to Rena, the fact that you haven't even told Sharelle this, and it's like when the news comes out, it's going to look bad that I knew before she did. So now Rena says, look, Colony, you have nothing to worry about. I would never throw you or Anne-Sophie under the bus. I would never tell Sharelle that I spoke to you and Anne-Sophie first. So Colony's super dismissive, and she's like, okay, girl, you know what? Good luck. Do what you want to do. Hope it all works out. And you could see that Rena was confused, but also hurt at Colony's reaction to her. And again, learn how to move in silence. I wish that Rena had never opened her mouth to Colony of all people about her plans to start her own brokerage. Colony and this undying loyalty to Sharelle is cringeworthy to watch. I don't know why you're so loyal to any company that can easily fire you if you're not producing. So we move on to the last scene of the episode. And baby, the way this last group dinner in Miami almost went left, I was like, Lord, today. So Rena and Sharelle are sitting right next to each other. And Rena turns to Sharelle and says, Sharelle, I need to talk to you about something. So of course, everybody can hear what's going on, but they're all trying to not make it so obvious that they're eavesdropping. Now, Rena, I have to get on you for 5 seconds because this was so dumb of you to have this kind of conversation in front of everybody at the table. Why wouldn't you just pull Sharelle to the side and talk to her one-on-one? Like anybody with some common sense would do. So anyhow, Rena starts it off and says, look, I have to be honest with you, but I am thinking about starting my own brokerage. And on top of that, I already spoke to Anne and Colony about this first. I'm like, Rena, are you dumb? And I was so mad at Rena because she had promised Colony on the yacht a few hours ago that she wouldn't throw them under the bus like that. I was like, Rena, what will possess you to tell Sharelle this information? So Sharelle is stunned. She's looking at Rena like, I know she is lying to me. Like, what did she just say? So now Sharelle says, I don't appreciate you trying to recruit my 2 best agents. And although Sharelle does a lot of things wrong, she was right about that. I had said in previous recaps that Rena was out of order for trying to recruit Sharelle's agents. If you want to start your own thing, that's fine. Have at it. God bless you, and I hope it works out. But get your own talent. Don't sit up here and try to take Sharelle's folks with you. That's not cool. Now, it's one thing if Sharelle's agents decide to go with you, but it's another thing for you to try to recruit them. So Rena's trying to undo the damage that she's done by telling Sharelle this news, and she keeps saying, look, nothing is set in stone, nothing definitive. It was just a thought that floated in my mind, but I haven't made any moves yet. So now Sharelle's like, look, I don't know how to tell you this, but I'm feeling some type of way, but let's just table this conversation because I'm annoyed. So now Rena's like, I can tell that Sharelle's upset. And it's like, really, Rena? Rena, I've been on your side. I have been going on about how smart you are, how much I like you, but this had to be one of the dumbest things I've ever seen. This conversation was totally inappropriate for you to be talking about at a group dinner. Who does that? You should have pulled Sharelle to the side if you had to talk to her at that moment, or you should have had a one-on-one lunch or dinner with Sharelle when you guys got back to Tampa. But this was unacceptable. And had that dinner gone left, it would have been your fault. I just want people to realize that there is a time and a place for everything. Certain times you have to know when to keep your mouth shut. So now Sharelle says, I hope you ladies have had fun, but you guys are going back to Tampa to make me some money, and I'm going to be staying in Miami a few extra days to see my man. We already know that she's with Chad Ochocinco and he's based in Miami. So now they have a toast, and Juawana breaks the news that last night she was on a date. So they're like, oh, so your husband flew in to see you? And then they're like, Juawana, it was your husband, right? So Juana's like, no. So now they're all like, girl, what's going on? And Juawana finally reveals that she and her husband are getting a divorce. Juawana starts crying. Now all the other ladies start crying and consoling her. And then Colony wants to know what went wrong in her marriage. Juawana says, it's just that I felt too embarrassed to leave and I wanted to save Faze. But honestly, I just needed more out of this marriage and he wasn't able to give me more. So Juawana stops crying and she's like, I'm glad I told you guys. And honestly, it seems like we're a lot closer than I thought that we were. So now everybody's like, yeah, girl, we love you. And then Rena says that she's proud of Juawana for doing what she needed to do. And that's where the episode ends. But y'all, let me just say, I'm really getting tired of Alexis and her immaturity. I'm tired of her not being able to own up to anything. I'm sick and tired of Colony's blind loyalty to Sharelle and Allure Realty. And I'm really fed up with the fact that Rena should not have had that conversation with Sharelle at that group dinner. That was out of line. But y'all, let me know what you guys thought about this episode. Thank you for watching my recap. I hope you all enjoyed. And as always, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you all later. Bye.